Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. FPL Consult here, and we are ready for the Game Week 29 deadline stream. Whew. It's been a while since we made any content on the channel. And yeah, lots of things to talk about, I would imagine, for Game Week 29. So we'll wait for more people to stream in. Thank you for all of you guys who have come early. In terms of FPL wise, or maybe I'll start off with the lack of content over the past few days. It's simply because things have come up. Things have come up in life, in work, and unfortunately wasn't able to put out videos regularly. But hopefully, moving forward, that'll be okay. Work will settle down. Aside from that, Game Week 29. I don't even know where to begin. FPL Harry's in the chat. Nice to see you, FPL Harry. Yeah, I don't even know where to begin for Game Week 29. I guess I'll start off with the transfers I've made so far. All right, so what I've done is I've sold Mateta. I'll get to why I've made my transfers in a bit, but I've sold Mateta for Chris Wood. I'm captaining Chris Wood, and then I've also sold Trent Alexander-Arnold for Vardiol. So these are the two transfers that I've made, and I think, to be honest, I'm also not fully convinced that this is the way that I should go about making the transfers. But at least in terms of my thought process, I'm going to talk it through with you guys. So the other combinations that I was considering was taking Cole Palmer out and bringing Bruno Fernandes in, and then captaining Bruno Fernandes as a bit of a differential. And then after that, that would force me to pretty much have to play Greaves, right? And then Trent would be on the bench if I didn't make the Variol move. So then it would be something like Bruno in Cole Palmer's position. Chris Wood would still come in for Mateta, but Greaves would be in the position that Variol is currently in. I don't think I was happy to take a hit at any point of my tinkering. So that was the other alternative that I was considering. But I look at my team and I also realize that I already, as it stands, have quite a number of differentials. Like I think Vissa against Bournemouth is already pretty much a big differential. Bowen as well. And I felt like if I did go for that route, I was pretty much subjecting myself to even or in a way, I'm not protecting myself as much from an effective ownership standpoint. So I've decided to go with the combination that protects me a little bit more, with Chris Wood here, bringing him in and captaining him. Then after that, Variol is in here, obviously because in game week 30, Man City will have Leicester. So with that in mind, for game week 30, when that comes around, long way to go, but for game week 30, when that comes around, I am open to bringing Mateta back in, potentially for Vissa. Or another move that I could make in game week 30 is also to do either Mbumo. I'm not fully convinced that this is the way that I would go, but Mbumo to Kluivert is one of the moves I could do in 30. If not, Vissa to Evan Nielsen or Vissa to Mateta. Right, but game week 30, when we get there, we'll cross the line. At least for game week 29, I've made my transfers, and I guess I'm happy enough with them, captaining Chris Wood for now. So yeah, this is pretty much how I'm going to set up with the 4-4-2. Thank you all of you guys for coming early. I again do have to apologize for the lack of content. Like this week has been a really, really tough week. I'm even sweating right now. All right. Let's get to some of the questions that you guys have. Okay, let's go. Good morning to all of you guys, by the way. Dominique, and also FPL Harry, nice to see you in the chat again. Great to see you here. Bill says Isak to Wood for -4, wildcard 31, own Haaland and Kluivert. Isak to Wood for -4. Yeah, I'm kind of gonna preface this. I guess even before I start answering questions, I'm gonna just say that I think taking a hit in game week 29 is pretty much I feel is going to be a bit of the norm. Like I think a lot of people would be forced at least to take a -4. Those who have lots of transfers in the bank, I mean, happy days for them. They don't have to take a hit, but pretty much I feel like if you don't have to take a hit, you are probably going to get a bit of a small green arrow already. So that is to say that even if you have to take a -4 to feel a decent enough squad, I don't think it's the end of the world. So -4s are alright, I would say, for game week 29. -8, okay, I guess if it's a move that could keep or could help you delay the wild card for longer, then okay. But if not, I think maximum is a -8. I don't think I'd go to a -12 to field 11 players. So -4, Isak to Wood, what I do it if you have Kluivert and Haaland. It depends who else you would field in that position if you don't take that -4. I think that bit of a context would play into the decision as well. Mandeep says, good evening. Would Marmoush start in your opinion? I think for game week 29 against Brighton, I think he probably will start. I think the bigger question to ask yourself is, I don't really think you're bringing him in specifically for this Brighton game. I think you're more focused on the game week 30 Leicester game. That's the one you really want him to start. But can you really tell yourself that Marmoush is going to start that game? Like, I honestly think it's hard to call whether he's going to start that game, or if he starts the Brighton one, then does that make you feel even more nervous about him starting the game week 30 game against Leicester? So I honestly think Marmoush for me right now, I don't think I would go there. Lots of members in the chat. Nice to see all of you guys. Ian, Erwin, Remedian as well. Nice to see you. Oh, yes. If you guys haven't already, please do drop a like on the stream. Really appreciate that. Daryl, thank you for the comment. Pikachu says, where have you been the last couple of weeks? I know I haven't uploaded many videos. Like, I have been pretty inconsistent, I have to say, but life has gotten in the way. And yeah, I mean, as you guys know, I'm also planning for my wedding. So that has also taken up quite a bit of time. So unfortunately, that is the situation right now. But the good news is that game week 30, I mean, at least from a content creation standpoint, game week 30 is still a while away. So it gives me a bit of time to kind of reset and get the things that I need to settle out of the way before making content. So yeah, game week 30, I would imagine content will be back. I'll do my best for that one. Irvin says, I have Salah and Rogers blank. One free transfer. Face and Greaves on the bench. I mean, one free Face and Greaves on the bench, Rogers and Salah to blank. I think you probably sell Rogers, right? In that position. And how much in the bank as well? Made a rash decision to bring Vissa in for Cunha last week. Is it worth taking a -4 to replace Vissa with Haaland? I think I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that a lot of people have been have been kind of hot on Haaland and saying that they're really desperate to bring Haaland in. But I'm gonna be honest, and I feel like I don't see the real draw for this week specifically. Like, because it's Brighton, and yes, I mean, he has a fixture now, so you may as well bring him in. But I think the main reason is the Leicester game. If you told me objectively, is Brighton going to be an easy game for Man City? I don't think so. Especially with the way that Brighton are playing right now, I do imagine that it might be slightly difficult for Man City. In which case, I don't think it's guaranteed that Haaland's going to get lots of returns. So I don't feel like he's super essential or as essential as what people are making him out to be, is what I'm trying to say. And so basically, I don't think it's worth taking like -4s just to bring Haaland in. That's my own opinion, but I know for you guys, if you are really hot on Haaland and you think that, this is, the week you really want to bring him in, I think the furthest I would go is a -4, and that would really just be bring him in to captain him. Aside from that, if you're not bringing him in to captain him, then I wouldn't even advise bringing Haaland in. Yeah. So that's my thoughts. Bringing Haaland in for free in game week 30, though, that is like a different conversation, which I think for some people, that is the option available to you. If you bring him in now in 29, you have to take a hit. If you bring him in 30, then it's for free. Then in that situation, I would normally I would advise going for the game week 30 free Haaland transfer in then. So yeah, I could be wrong. Man City could, do a job against Brighton. But yeah, I don't have Haaland in my team, and maybe that's why I'm a little bit biased in that respect. Having some fun this week, Captain Madison. Well, there's definitely a differential captain. Keep or sell Waneri. I have him in my team right now. I just feel like it's a case where, worst case scenario, he gets 30 minutes against Chelsea. It's completely possible that Martinelli starts on the right and Trossard on the left. Or even like Sterling. But Sterling is unable to play against the parent club Chelsea, so Sterling's not an option for Arsenal this week. There's Waneri, there's Trossard, there is. Do I think Waneri is gonna start? I mean, if you ask me how confident I am, I'd say 60%. I think he's 60% likely to start. But I'm no Arsenal lineup expert, but I don't see a situation where I would go out just to remove him. I still think he gets some minutes, is what I'm trying to say. Would you feel Dango? Yeah, so Dango, the situation with Dango is a little bit more tricky. I think Evan Nielsen is more likely to start in game week 29, if I'm honest. So if you have Dango, I would be worried. Would I make a transfer to take him out? I think I would. But I take a -4 to take Dango out. Gets tricky. I would say yes. I would take a -4 to take Dango out. Would you sell Isak for Evan Nielsen or just play Waneri? Do you think he plays? So I would play Waneri in that situation. So I don't mind keeping someone so the decision I had to make this week is whether I wanted to keep Isak or Mateta. I decided to keep Isak, but either ways, I did even consider a permutation of keeping both, simply because of the fact that Isak and Mateta both have really good fixtures in game week 30. Like Isak has Brentford at home and Mateta has Southampton away. So those two fixtures are really good for both of these players. And if you sell them, it's obvious that if you sell them now in 29 to get a player that has a fixture, then in 30 you probably won't have them. So I guess it's kind of weighing up the short-term, loss, right, by keeping someone like Isak or Mateta on your bench, but then you gain when you get that fixture in 30 and hopefully they do well. So I don't think it's a situation where you really just have to get Isak out of your team. If possible, I've decided to keep Isak, but I'm also entertaining the idea of Vissa to Mateta in 30 to get both of them back. So in that situation that you mentioned, Isak for Evan Nielsen or just play Waneri, I'd probably just play Waneri. Well, thank you all of you guys for the congratulations. I will be getting married in June. So you will realize that I've timed it such that it is after the Premier League season. I'm not gonna say if that was intentional, but it has happened that that will be the case. So at least I will be able to, take time off content, and I'll be able to fully focus on the wedding. I have a good one, and then come back sometime in July, late July. That's when content usually starts, and then we'll get back to it. So yeah. But thank you all for the congratulations. Thank you, FPL Harry, as well. What are your thoughts on Bruno captain? I like it. I like it. I like Bruno captain. If I'm to rank like Haaland, Wood, and Bruno this week, I go Haaland. I want to say Haaland is, if you have Haaland, I think Haaland is a straightforward captain. If you don't have Haaland, then I think Wood becomes that option, and then Bruno becomes the differential. That's what I would say. FPL Yellow Army says, afternoon, Leon. Hope you're well. I hope you are well too. Dan Jimenez and Milenkovic in for 2 frees. I like the Milenkovic transfer. Like, not a lot of people are talking about Forest defenders, but someone in my private mini league did Aina in as well, which I don't mind. I don't mind like bringing in Nottingham Forest defenders. But some people have Cells as their keeper, so maybe I wouldn't double up, but I don't mind the Forest defender transfer. Palmer, Isak, Cunha, Trent to Bruno, Haaland, Evan Nielsen, and Milenkovic for a -4. How do you rate this move? For a -4, I think those are good moves, Bruno, Haaland, Evan Nielsen, and Milenkovic. I think it's worth it. I think it's worth it. Clivert captain. I put Chris Wood ahead of Clivert this week. Have to take a -12 to get a decent team out. So I think I'm 90% going to free hit. I mean, as much as possible, I still feel like the free hit would be more useful in the period from game week 33 to 34. I think that period is quite tricky to navigate, mostly because firstly, Newcastle and Crystal Palace were double in 32, but I mean, this is again dependent on the results that we see in the FA Cup. But 32, Newcastle and Palace were double. In 33, as it stands, based off of like predictions, Crystal Palace and Newcastle won't double. And then after that, in 33 as well, there will be teams doubling, but they would be blanking in 34. So in totality, like 32 to 34 is going to be a pretty tricky week to navigate. Free hit 33 is also an option. Free hit 34 is also an option. So because of that, I just think it's more worth it to use the free hit in a week like that rather than 29. If you have to go so far as to take a -12, I think I would do it, and save the chip. Dango -4 to Callum Hudson-Odoi or Ilanga for just game week 29. Worth it. This is the thing, right? What do you take a -4 to sell Dango or Tara? Yeah, I mean, I would. I still stand by the fact that I think I would. I wouldn't be confident of his minutes or of even him starting. Wood or Clivert captain? I prefer Wood. As his own preseason. Thank you, all of you guys in the chat, for the congratulations. I really appreciate that. Will you take a -8 for Bruno instead of Palmer? No, I wouldn't. Picked up a knock. It's going around golden goal and MV. Not confirmed out, but something to think about. I guess he picked up a knock. Is there something I'm missing? Not that I see anything though. I mean, in the press conference yesterday from Nuno, there was no real issues. Let me just make sure. Yeah, not that I see anything though about Chris Wood. Tag me on Twitter if you see anything. Peter, nice to see you. Would you bring in Gibbs White or Semenyo? Already have Clivert. Gibbs White. Chris Wood captain or Bruno captain? I prefer Chris Wood. I mean, it's dependent on. I mean, people are saying he's injured. I don't see anything on Twitter. Maybe I'm missing something. Not that I see anything though. Let me just double confirm that. Yeah, no, I don't think there's anything wrong with Chris Wood. Let me know if you guys see anything. But for now, I'm going to go off the basis that he's fine. Gonna go off the basis that he's fine. Selvin, nice to see you in the chat. Love the stream. Keep up the good work. Thank you very much. Starting Dango due to no free transfers or bench cover, 1.3 million in the bench. Do you suggest the -4, and for whom? I think I would take the -4 for Dango, you know, because I honestly don't think he. I mean, best case scenario, he does what he did last week, which was he came on for Evan Nielsen around the 70th minute, gets about 20 minutes, and then yeah, best case scenario he gets a return, but you're really banking on him doing well in that kind of 20-minute span. I honestly don't think he starts. So if it was me, I think I would take the -4. I'll take the -4 and go for. I mean, if you're talking about midfielders, if you don't have Clivert, I go Clivert. If not, Gibbs White is also someone I'd be looking at in terms of that kind of 6 to 7 million range. But yeah. Captain Wood or Bruno? I prefer Chris Wood. I feel Pickle says looks like Wood is a doubt though. Man. Have we blundered the early Chris Wood transfer? Have I missed anything though? Chris Wood is a doubt. I don't know if I don't know if Nah, not that I see anything though. Link it in the chat. Like if you guys see anything about Chris Wood that you saw on Twitter, let me know in the chat. Or if someone's leaking anything, just link it in the chat. Just spam it. I'll have a look. All right, already taken a -8. but still got Dango, Palmer, and Neto playing. Is it worth a wild card to sort that and get the -8 back, or wait until 31? Okay, a wild card this week is, I would say, the last resort. And I would still prefer using the wild card this week over using the free hit. I am pretty certain that a lot of you guys would find it more useful to have the free hit in game week 33 or 34. So I would still stand by that fact. So I don't think free hit 29, unless you were planning to free hit 29 all this while, then your team probably is in pretty bad shape, and then by now you would have already activated it. So if that was your plan, you stick with it. But if not, I don't think you activate it last minute just to deal with the issues in your team. So still keep it for 33 or 34. But wildcard, I would say this week is a possibility, but I would really only do it if necessary. That would be the last resort. So let me get back to this. Yeah, I mean, so in your position, I would say you have a -8. Taking a -8, you got Dango, Palmer, and Neto. Is it worth a wild card to sort that and get? Nah. I think you just keep with what you have and you wait until 31 or even 30 if you really have to. -8 play a full squad and bring Haaland, Semenyo, and Milenkovic. I mean, if you have to take a -8 to field your full squad, how many players are you lacking? Because that would make it if you have a player with no fixture and then you're bringing another player in who has a fixture, I count that as a -2. Palmer is becoming good opposition. Chris Wood has COVID. Chris Wood has COVID. Nah. Then we gotta go with it seems like Greaves is gonna come in for me then. And who do I even captain? FPL Pickle, where have you seen this? Where have you seen this? Am I missing something? You're not messing with me, are you? Chris Wood has COVID. Okay, I'm gonna go on a hunt. Give me a minute. I'm gonna go on a hunt to find this Chris Wood news that I seem to be missing. I don't even know where the news is coming from. I'm scouring Twitter. I mean, since someone brought up just now about Chris Wood potentially. Is it a leak? Is it a... Wow. Troll fake account? Is it an account that I blocked? Maybe that's why I'm not seeing anything. All the fake news accounts, I've kind of blocked them so that they don't clog up the feed. But yeah, I mean, it's not that I see anything. Okay. Until I actually see it, I mean, I seriously hope that Chris Wood does not have COVID. Okay, I'll get back to the questions, but we'll address it in a bit. FPL Pickle is Raptors. Oh, then you know what? The real FPL Pickle. That's a real FPL Pickle. Then you know what? It probably isn't a troll then. I don't know. Where is the source? FPL Pickle, if you would enlighten me, please let me know. Where is the source for Chris Wood having COVID? Don't see it on Twitter though. Captain Wood or Bruno? Shall I do a -4 taking out Grease for Aina or Kirkes if wildcarding 30-31? Captain Wood or Bruno? You see, that's the thing, right? That's the thing. Is Chris Wood alright? Nah, let me... Wait a moment. Let's sort this out. Chris Wood has COVID. Just give me a moment. I'm fully scouring Twitter at the moment. He's fine. I'm with him, dropping him to the stadium. Chris Wood's chauffeur is in the chat. Okay, I don't see anything at the moment still, so I'm gonna live in denial. Yeah, I should just ask FPL Raptor Ross. Morning consult. Would you do Trossard to Bruno or Clivert, or Waneri to Clivert for a -4, or keep and save the hit? I do Waneri to Clivert for the -4. Yeah, I do Waneri to Clivert for a -4. Would you go Doku or Savino as a 2-week punt? I'd say Savino. I'd be more confident of Savino's minutes. I mean, Doku doesn't even start. Consistently, at least. Okay, I'm not going to spread any fake news. So I'm just gonna say that I still haven't seen anything about Chris Wood having COVID. Enzo out for Clivert for a -4. Yes, I'd do that. Is that a 2-meter circle between Wood and Vista? He's right next to Vista. What if he gives him COVID? Nah, this has turned into a Chris Wood having COVID stream. Alright, yeah, so I don't see anything for now. So I'm gonna leave it at that. Hopefully it's fake news. I'm still waiting for FPL Pickle to give me the source. Is that the real FPL Pickle though? Like Ross's girlfriend? Or is it a fake FPL Pickle? I don't even know at this point. Okay, I'm gonna pull up the press conference at least. I mean, we just had the press conference last night. I mean, what's going on? I made the transfer after the press conference as well. Backup goalkeeper Carlos Miguel is the only player we are aware of who is on the Forest injury list. Nuno suggested in Thursday's presser that nothing much had changed on that front. On a free hit, would you go Sells plus Mazraoui or Pickford plus Forest defender? Don't think United keep a clean sheet, but Mazraoui has the attacking threat. I mean, Mazraoui has been playing absolutely brilliant the past few days, or the past few games. So Sells plus Mazraoui, Pickford plus Forest defender. I'd go Pickford plus the Forest defender. That's where I'd go. If it was true, it'd be everywhere. I mean, that is true as well. That is true as well. That is true. We're gonna find out anyways in a couple of hours. Like Ipswich and Nottingham Forest play today, so we'll see. We'll see. We will see. I better get the vice captaincy sorted then. Who would I want as my vice captain? I mean, I have Mbumo. But I think yeah, I think I leave it on Bumo. It's either him or Bowen, but I'm more confident of Bumo. So all right, I don't think I'm changing anything. It's just a question of whether Greaves comes in or not, like auto subs in. Just give me a moment. Okay, we're gonna leave it at that. Leave the Chris Wood news like that. Okay, I'll update you guys if I see anything, but for now it is what it is. Okay, so in terms of my team, again, I mean Flecken, Gabriel, Kirkes, Robinson, Bardiol, Palmer, Mbumo, Waneri, and Bowen. Up front is Vissa and Chris Wood. For now, Chris Wood's still the captain. If he doesn't play, then Greaves comes in. Aside from that, vice captain is going to be on Mbumo, right? So in the event again that Chris Wood doesn't play, then Mbumo is going to be there. But I'm going to look for the source as to where this Chris Wood news is coming from, right? So if not, hopefully I managed to answer some of your questions. If you have any more questions, let me know in the chat. Hopefully I have answered most of them. Thoughts on João Pedro? I mean, if you have him now, you don't sell him, you just keep him. Against Man City, no worries about that. What do you think about Isak, Palmer, and Van Dijk to Haaland, Gibbs White, and Aina? 4 free transfers. Then I try to go for Vardiol, 4 free transfers. If you can afford Vardiol, I would go there. Gibbs White and Aina just feels like going a little bit too heavy on Forest, I feel. Rogers to Semenyo, Ilanga, or Bowen. If you can go for Bowen, he's the one I would go for. Will we have any content during the international break? FPL Pickle has given an update. Ross is reporting situation on his channel. He's isolating for precaution. Does that mean he plays or he doesn't play? Thank you for getting back though, FPL Pickle. I appreciate it. I was just about to tag you on Twitter and ask you. So Ross is reporting the situation. Okay, so let me just pull up Ross's stream. Let me pull up Ross's stream. I'm literally just gonna watch Ross's stream right now. Alright, I'm not sure if you guys can hear. It's Ross's voice in the background. Okay, I've just asked Ross, is Chris Wood okay? Let's see what happens. I apologize for those of you guys who are just watching me react to this. I'm just watching Ross's stream. He's got like 5 super chats though. I don't think he'll get to my question. I just asked him, is Chris Wood okay? Okay, we'll see what happens. Thank you, FPL Pickle, for updating the chat on the Chris Wood news. I'm gonna be watching Ross's stream for a while. For those of you guys who are still here, thank you for watching. Please do drop a like. Please do subscribe if you haven't already. And again, I will be on Telegram updating you guys as and when I hear anything. But again, this Chris Wood news, I'm gonna wait for Ross to say anything. If not, thank you again for tuning in, and I will see you guys for the game week 30 content, which hopefully I'll get more videos out in game week 30. But for game week 29, I wish you guys all the best. Head on over to Ross's stream and find out if Chris Wood is indeed having COVID or not. All right, so I'll see you guys, and I'll catch you very, very soon. Bye-bye.